Whenever there is a decline of dharma or righteousness and rise of things which don't conform to dharma, I incarnate in human form to protect the good, to annihilate the evil, and to restore dharma. I incarnate time and time again, whenever and wherever necessary. Book title: Mahakal or Yug Pratyavartan Prakriya. Mahakal and the process of transformation of an era. Book introduction: Call it a renaissance, a prophecy of rewriting of the fate of the world with golden ink. But the world is undeniably going through a big change. This book contains so many interesting anecdotes from divine incarnations and their illustrious mission to those selfless souls who join hands with them and earn the fortune of inking their name indelibly in history, to those unruly evils who misguided humanity only to meet the same fate. Through these anecdotes, the author unravels how man has been digging his own grave through his wayward thinking and how Mahakal is determined to make humanity change its ways and reverse the downward trend. The book also gives an open invitation to everyone to join in these great historic moments of change. Question 1: Who is Mahakal? There are three complementary divine powers or processes that work closely together: Brahma, or creating authority, Vishnu, or sustaining authority, and Shiva, who is transforming or demolishing authority. Mahakal, or time spirit, is the timeless, invisible, and infinitely powerful divine manifestation of the latter that meticulously governs the universe, maintains law and order, and also steps in to restore normalcy in case of widespread anarchy or unruly behavior. Mahakal also represents the streams of avatar, that is, divine incarnations, taking place time and time again to deal with adverse situations and to restore normal blissful conditions. Question 2: How does Mahakal operate vis a vis humanity? Just like everything else, a society going to rack and ruin also needs timely intervention to mend its ways. This is an ongoing process that carries on through reformers, holy people, masihas, saints, sages, and the likes who come from time to time all over the world to tackle adverse contemporary situations. However, when the situation goes out of control, wrongdoings become rampant, people cross their boundaries and become indifferent to any useful advice. Mahakal will need to step in with radical and widespread intervention to remedy the situation. It may befall in many ways, like natural disasters, epidemics, and so on. This may cause humanity to suffer severe hardships which could compel it to rethink about changing its ways. Incarnations are also part of this process and creates a widespread emotive trend which inspires the masses, many of whom would join in the crusade, team up with the divine, and perform extraordinary heroic feats to help in the process of reformation. Question 3: How can God be so cruel to make humanity suffer hardship? God doesn't hate anyone. God is an infinite ocean of compassion and always does good to all as reflected by his names, Shiva and Shankar. Another of his names is Bhola, which truly means simple minded, calm, and gentle. But when the world goes extremely wayward, humans become excessively stubborn, arrogant, and don't listen. Shiva is compelled to perform Tandav dance, the dance of death, destruction, and annihilation, which paves the way for a new creation. Excerpts from the book: God has given responsibility to each and every person to maintain collective peace, happiness, and orderliness. It goes without saying that one shouldn't indulge in wrongdoing, but that is not enough. He also has a responsibility to stop others doing the same. It isn't good enough if a person is well behaved and keeps making personal progress himself only. He should make similar efforts for others as well. Those who don't make such an effort for others are in the wrong, although they doesn't seem to have done anything wrong. Divine incarnations come from time to time to eradicate immorality and unworthiness and to restore righteous thinking and worthiness. There are two things common to each and every incarnation. One is to change the contemporary undesirable situations, and two, to inspire and engage masses to facilitate it. The 10th incarnation has already arrived and is endangering such an emotive trend which will inspire the masses to move away from their selfish needs and personal problems and to work for doing good for the entire humanity. They wouldn't hesitate to make personal sacrifices wherever needed. Humanity has only two options to choose from in the current dreadful situation it has dragged itself into. The first option is that of destruction and the end of the world, and the second option is that of radical transformation. We will have to face all our destruction if we don't opt for radical transformation. There is no third option at all. You have the freedom to choose which way to go. If you wish to join the evil forces that have lost their senses of direction, you should always be ready to go through the agony of Mahakal's punishment. If you wish to join forces with Mahakal to do good to humanity, you will have to change your ways and tread the path that integrates your own spiritual welfare with that of humanity. Few topics covered in the book are: this book contains myriads of anecdotes which reinforce and help us understand the following: impending worldwide calamities and their purpose, Mahakal and his fiery manifestation, the parallel processes of destruction and construction, all about the current 10th incarnation, extraordinary souls taking birth to work along the incarnation, imminent battle between the good and the bad, our roles as individuals, our choice does matter, how to avoid getting punished and how to get rewarded, open invitation to talents.